right, my friends, here we are. The Monday at noon live stream here on my other channel, Nate Murray. And I am Nate Murray. So good to see everybody here. Ms. P, hello. She says, good day all. I'm working outside while the weather holds, and we'll be listening in. Every so often I remember that God gave us one mouth and two ears for good reason. Man, that is so true. And it has been my philosophy in life that we only really learn when we're listening. And so I learned a long time ago to spend most of my time listening, which is really kind of deceiving the people that only know me through social media outlets, because it appears like I'm talking all the time and I'm constantly trying to talk and stuff. But that's just this outlet, this medium of expression, because most of the time I spend listening. That is how I learn. When I was traveling throughout the world and observing, always observing. So yes, Graham, hello, my friend. You made it. He says, YouTube is being my friend today. Yeah, well, you're a bit of a rabble rouser, we could say, aren't you? So, okay, guys, put any of the questions in the chat. And if you guys are watching this after the fact, then you can put questions for next week into the comments down below. PA says, hi, hey, everyone. Good afternoon from Portugal. What's the weather like there right now, man? Right now, here, it is actually it's very nice. It's nice and sunny. It's about 60 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to be going out working in the garden. I'm working on a video to show you guys tomorrow on the other channel how to inoculate and supercharge the biochar. So that is what, as soon as I get done here, I'm going to continue making that video. And yeah, I'm pretty much full-time making content now. So it's really wonderful. It really helps that I'm into that. So Max Nielsen says, on day 4 of the Master Cleanse right now. Okay, my friend, so you are in the thick of it. On day 4, most people they have their chemical addiction to caffeine or to chemical preservatives and stuff like that is pretty much behind them for the most part. And so they're starting to really enter. By day 4, you're really entering full-blown autophagy or autolysis, kind of they're the similar thing. And that is the self-healing mode of the body. And so I know some of you have heard it before, but just listen again, because many, many years ago, well, actually not that long ago, just 100 years ago or even less, the human did not know when they would get their next meal. And so we didn't just have a refrigerator to go to and get anything we wanted. So for all the time that humans have existed in this form, however long you think that is, hundreds of thousands of years, a couple of millions of years, whatever it is, we did not have the ability to just get food all the time. And so the body developed this capability that says, okay, well, we're going to take this opportunity of nothing in the system to digest. We're going to take this opportunity and heal the body. We're going to go within and seek out. And this is what autophagy does. This is what about day 4 in the Master Cleanse, you're starting to really experience this. The body is going within and it's seeking out all of the ill and the dying and the dead cells. The cells that are draining energy from you, the cells that are clogging up your lymphatic system, the cells that are clogging up your liver and your kidneys, all of this kind of stuff, crystallization of gout, all of these kind of things. The body goes and says, okay, we're going to use those for energy first. So it consumes those and you detoxify in this way. It's magnificent. So that because the body wants you to be sharp. So, okay, you've been 4 days without food for the first time ever, probably in your life. And the body is like, hey, we need to be sharp. We need to be robust, and our cognition needs to be there so that we can go and find food. And so that's about day 4, 5, 6. That's all happening for you. And so by day 6 and beyond of the Master Cleanse, yeah, you're definitely in the autophagy, in the self-healing mode. Okay. Lori Sparkles, hello, my friend. She says, good morning from Utah. Snowing yet again. Man, you guys have a huge variety in landscape, don't you? I mean, some places it's like a desert where it doesn't snow much, right? And then some places is like mountain and it's, yeah, you're welcome, Max. And you get a lot of snow, right? So yeah, Utah seems a little bit harsh. I've driven through there many times, stopped in Salt Lake a number of times, but never lived there. DA says, I had trouble on day 7, started feeling depleted no matter how many lemonades. Okay, yes, this can happen. This can happen. A big reason that this can happen on the Master Cleanse is that as the toxins become dislodged from the body, you have to understand, many people have been carrying around, good morning, Trish. Many people have been carrying around toxins stored in their body for years, and they don't even realize it, okay? Just for example, I said this last time, but I'll say it again. Think of a river, okay? A winding river. Where does all the debris gather? At the curves. Where anywhere that the river winds is where the log jams happen and all the stuff, okay? And it's similar with our intestines. And so all over the place, you get impacted fecal matter and toxins that have been lodged there over time. And mucus, black mucoid sort of plaque, can get lodged in there. And so as these toxins are getting released, as they're getting brought out through autophagy and through the stimulation of the Senate and the saltwater flush big time, and as it pulls toxins from the lymphatic system, it's a very real thing that the mental and emotional state of vibration that you were at the time of consuming those toxins can get released. This happens to people. I've worked with so many people, and this happens to them, to where they will experience emotions that they've not experienced in a long time. So maybe they had a binge eating session with themselves because they were really depressed or they felt heartbroken. Yeah, this happens. And so they binge eat all kinds of stuff that gives them a little bit of chemical dopamine and a little bit of feel good, comforting. Well, the mental and emotional vibrational state is stored with those toxins so that when it comes out, whoa, all these kind of weird feelings, and this can be depleting on the body. Yeah, it can drain our energy. Or if we were depressed, think of depression, lethargy, where you just kind of there's no point in anything. You don't really feel, even if you don't feel bad, you don't feel good. You don't feel anything. That's the horrible state. Yeah. And so, anhedonic, that's what we would call that. Inability to just feel anything. And so when we're consuming the toxins or storing them at that time period, those can come back out. All of this happens. Yes. So the main thing is to give ourselves the space to say, okay, I don't care what comes because I'm tired of being sick, or I'm tired of feeling less than 110%. Yeah, I want to feel supercharged. I want to feel sensitive to the energies of life. I want to feel life flowing through me. I want to feel gratitude in my heart. I want to wake up and be happy and say, hey, man, great, here's another day. So what can we do? Whose life can we impact? How can we better things? All of that, that state of mind, that can become your default system. Yes, but it starts with cleansing all the darkness out of you, both physically and mentally, emotionally. So DA says, makes sense, thanks. Question, what do you think about nanoparticles in our system being released by 5G? Yes. Now, there's a number of different kinds of nanoparticles. When people are talking about nanoparticles, they can mean super microscopic tiny toxins like microplastics and really micro things. They can also talk about, and this is a little bit further up the level of in the shadows, you know what I mean? That we can talk nanotechnology as in miniature little organisms, almost like robots, except not like we would think, but yes, that can be released into the bloodstream and that can alter DNA. They have this technology. Research this, my friends. If this is your first time hearing of this technology already exists, and we already know about it you can watch YouTube videos about it. So it's way, the stuff that they have in private labs, underground labs, is light years, decades, even centuries beyond what the public is able to see on a YouTube video. So yeah, and they already are letting us know of this technology. Little tiny, essentially robots that can go in and clip sections of DNA and rearrange them and can do things, self-replicate in the body. It's like alien technology, it seems like. And so yeah, that is all very real, very possible. Another reason that we need to cleanse regularly, another reason that we need to be very aware of how many toxins we are consuming. Because for the first time in human history, we are swimming in an ocean of man-made chemicals. And I mean everywhere. Your carpet right now, this foam that I have, this sound deadening foam on the room, all of it's off-gassing. This microphone, the ceiling, the paint, the curtains, all of this stuff is all man-made, and it's all the body never evolved to deal with this stuff. And so these are getting into the system. Yes. So you just have to be aware of this. I made a long form video a while ago now. It's a few videos ago if you guys want to see it on this channel about the toxins. And we just read some of the ingredients on like the deodorant, and I went through it all and I said, okay, so if you put the deodorant on and then you put on some lotion and then you brush your teeth, okay? And right there, you have slathered yourself in loads of man-made chemicals. Put them right on the underarms, the most absorbing place of the outside body, right into the blood system. So we need to be aware of all those kind of things, okay? And when you begin living the natural lifestyle, things like once your diet gets on point, things like deodorant become not necessary because only to people who are having a toxic diet or something is off balance, then does their body odor, the bacteria that causes that, really get out of control. So when we are eating clean and our thoughts are clean and all of this, the body can regulate that. And you should not have a foul odor, like where some people's like, whoa, man, just smells ammonia, like foul. That's toxins coming out of the body. It can also be thought toxins, okay? Yes. And so, someone said, PA says, don't forget the thumbs up, people, so the algorithm is send it to the rest of the world. That's right, my friend. Thank you very much. Yes, the more people that we can get involved in this kind of stuff, the better, yeah? But, again, it starts with ourself. It starts with ourself. And then it can radiate outward. Pritham says, love and light to all from Canada. Loving this content. Thank you. You are very welcome, my friend. I'm glad that you are here. Let me know if you have any questions. Because I like that format, so we can just kind of, boom, go to different topics and stuff. And then it's, the questions just elicit, it's like a pivot, and we can just go to something fresh, And it gives us like, because I like to know, because if we were all sitting in a room, think of this, guys. The technology is so strange, and this is a skill I've had to develop over the years of working with technology like this, is that, okay, if we were all sitting in a room right now, there's like 20 people or something in a room, I would be talking, and you guys would be like, nodding your head about certain things, or you'd look horrified about some things, or you'd look like perplexed. That's all feedback loop. Those are all cues that I would then be observing in the audience saying, okay, talk more about this, or okay, they're not feeling that, or yes, okay, everyone's vibing on the same level. Those are all like feedback loops that we get when we're in person talking. And I thrive with those kind of feedback loops in a setting. But with the internet, you don't get any of that. You're just talking to a screen. And you get the comments, you get some of the thumbs up and stuff. It's just, but you even have to go, for me, I've had to even go deeper and like feel it in the ether, to just, okay, and just speak about whatever comes. So it's a unique thing. Yes. And Max says, do you drink coffee, caffeine? What is your morning routine like? Okay, my morning routine is, so yes, I do drink coffee and tea, definitely. But I used to do all kinds of stimulants, and like I used to be into energy drinks and stuff like that. I used to take those 5-hour energies when I was living in California, working in the mountains. It's man, and that stuff is super toxic to the body. I know this because I experienced it, and but when you switch to the natural sources of caffeine, like a cup of coffee in the morning or a cup of yerba mate in the afternoon, it's totally different. The way that the body processes it is just completely different. And so yes, I do have some in that natural sense, in the natural form, but it's not just about the caffeine, And my morning routine is something that I have developed personally that works really well for me. And I wake up without an alarm at about 7 o'clock because I sleep from 11 to 7. It's just crazy how structured, how structured my life has become after 10 years of traveling the world and being totally unstructured. I mean, nothing that even resembled a structure or a routine. And so now here, these past few years, I'm back here and my life has just settled into like a rhythm, a structure. It's so unique in my life. But I sleep from 11 to 7, then I wake up without an alarm about 7 o'clock, give or take 20 minutes, and then I will immediately drink a liter of water. It's right next to the bed. So I wake up, I rinse it out, and I gargle and spit it out, and some of it, and then I drink the rest of the liter all at once, guzzle it. Then go downstairs and do all the dishes from dinner the night before so I can get moving and stuff like that. And make either a cup of coffee or a cup of yerba mate. And then I will go, while that's brewing or whatever, I will go and do a workout, which is some like Tai Chi type stuff, also like calisthenics. It's about 25 minutes. Get the heart rate up, get the blood pumping to the muscles. It feels great. Get the energy moving like this. And then I will go and get the cup of tea. And then I will do about 20 minutes of breathing exercises every morning, every day doing the breathing exercises. It feels fantastic. And then after that, I will... it's like a meditation, the breathing exercises and stuff. And then I will either read for about 30 minutes, 45 minutes, depending on the day and stuff. And then I will come and start answering questions and doing emails and making videos and stuff. So that's pretty much how it goes. And I found that is really good for me. So, yeah, I don't know who asked that, but let's see. Chris Black, 1111. Whoa, it's a sign. So what's your thoughts on drinking the gallon of water to rehydrate, energize, but then waking up 3 to 6 times at night to pee and have a bad broken sleep? That's not going to work. Okay. You don't 3 to 6 times a night. That's not going to work. You need to consume that, much before. Going to bed. So, okay, if you drink the gallon of water, try and have it consumed. If your frequent urination at night is an issue, try to have it consumed by like 4 o'clock, or depending on what time you go to bed. But no, that's going to sleep is water is number one. You can't really compare the two, but if we will die without sleep, we will also die without water. So the thing is that you want to have that section of sleep that is uninterrupted. It is so important, my friends, that you get the quality of sleep. And that impacts the whole day. So you need to make sure that your sleep space is a sanctuary. Don't have a TV in there. And don't even have a TV in your house, ideally. But don't have a TV in your sleep space. Don't be trying to read in bed. Don't be trying to eat in bed. The bed is for sleeping, and some other things, but not watching TV and stuff like that, okay? So it's for sleeping primarily. And so you want to keep that space sacred. And so that when you go into the room, it's got its unique smell, you essential oils or the frankincense and stuff like that, okay? So you want to have it so that triggers, cues to your subconscious and to the physical body that says, when you walk into your room, okay, it's about time to go to sleep. And that's what you want, because then all the melatonin production will get going. No screens in the bedroom, okay? And then you have a nice, comfortable bed, whatever's comfortable for you, okay? I tried so many different ways over the years, slept in so many different beds, but now that I'm a little bit older, it's like more important. So I tried one of those thick purple mattresses. I found a super good deal on it and brought it in and did that for like a year and started having back problems. It was just too soft. And so I went through a couple different mattresses until about 6 months ago, I got a shikabutan, a Japanese futon from J Life International. I think that's the website. And it's all cotton, like organic cotton, and it's only about 3 inches. And it's super firm. I just lay it right on the ground. And guys, it took about a month to adjust to this, but after I adjusted to that shikabutan, it's phenomenal. My body has become, it's so much more comfortable after switching to that ultra firm Japanese futon type. It's not a futon, it's just like a cotton mat. So that is I wonder what got me started on saying that. Oh yeah. So make sure you have that drink before you go to bed, because you don't want to have a bad night's sleep. Maggie says, anything on detoxing the lymph system? I recently intuitively have felt the need for that. Recent video by Dr. Bean went over a study that looked at the brain effect. There was a message fix. There was a message to fix. Okay, so the lymphatic system needs to be cleansed. All right, and the many of the toxins that are in our food are stored in the fats. Okay, because the body never evolved to deal with these kind of man-made toxins that we're experiencing all around us on a daily basis now. Some people much more than others. Mine are greatly limited compared to some people that are constantly slathering their body in toxins. But fat molecules and the lymphatic system will store a lot of these fats because it doesn't want to poison the system. So it says, okay, well, we're just going to store them here in this fat until a later time so that we're not going to poison the body because the body doesn't know what to do with it. So your lymph system is probably clogged. And if the body is telling you that you need to cleanse, absolutely listen to it, my friends. You want to listen to that urge that says, I just feel plugged up, or I just feel kind of clogged, or saturated with something. So you want to become unsaturated. And so listen to that. And there really is no need to do anything other than the master cleanse. I've done so many different kinds of cleanse over the years, and I've settled on the master cleanse because it's the simplest and most effective, and it utilizes the natural system of the body. It's not the type of cleanse that adds anything, really. It's the type that reduces, that detoxifies the body, because the body's natural state is to thrive. Most people are not aware of this, and we're led to believe otherwise in the modern world with modern Western medicine. But the body's natural state is perfection. It wants to thrive. All the organisms want to thrive, and given left to their own in the natural state, they do thrive. And so we also are designed to thrive, okay? And let's see, Donna Tarrant, hello, my friend. She says, made it, woohoo, love all your content. All right, thank you for the positive energy, my friend. I appreciate you being here. Danger Pigeon says, thoughts on melatonin pills to sleep. Yeah, guys, okay. A number of things. If you are, the melatonin pills, if you are experiencing some kind of acute issue, like a depression or something, there are certain circumstances where a short-term usage of the melatonin pills is totally reasonable, okay, to help reestablish a sleep pattern or something like this, jet lag, perhaps, extreme jet lag. But here's the thing, guys. As with anything like that, the body will become dependent upon it. It will. That's how it works, because your body has a natural production of melatonin within itself. It uses all kinds of cues in order to produce the melatonin, certain hormone levels, also the circadian rhythm, and also the time of day. So this is one reason that the cell phones, people laying in bed looking at their cell phone, the blue light from the cell phone inhibits the production of melatonin in the body. And so this is why it's hard to fall asleep and yada, yada. This is why we want to end all screens at least an hour before going to bed, okay? And turn it on to the nighttime mode where it's orange. It's a lot more orange otherwise. And this is going to help the body produce its natural melatonin, okay? And then also, so yeah, if you have to use the melatonin, okay, acceptable. But you have to understand that if you use it more than a week at a time, a few days or a week, the body will become dependent because it produces melatonin naturally. So if it senses that, whoa, what's all this? We got tons of melatonin, way more than we would have naturally had, it's going to stop producing it. And so even things that are non-addictive, guys, anything can be addictive. Take it from me. I know this in life. Anything can become habit forming, can become psychologically addictive. And so even something as natural as the melatonin pills, you have to ask yourself, why do I need to use it? That's the main thing. Anything that you might have to take a medication for is you have to, it's a feedback loop. Because we're supposed to be, we are designed to sleep deeply and to sleep wonderful and to have plenty of energy throughout the day and to feel good all the time. That's how we're designed. And so if we're not, and we're having real terrible sleep, then we have to not be afraid to face that and say, okay, what is this trying to tell me? What is not right in my life that I can't get good night's sleep by myself? Okay? And that's the real thing. And so we have to say, okay, do I need more magnesium in my diet? I saw someone suggest that. Absolutely. Do I need to be getting more leafy greens? Do I need to try and add a little bit of raw beef liver or some bone marrow into my diet? Yes. Do I need to eat more cherries? Cherries are the number one food. Dark cherries are the number one food that help the body to produce its own melatonin. And so also blueberries can help with this, okay? It's not that it makes you tired, but it helps the systems that produce the melatonin. And so that's what would be the primary way to do it, is to use any of that as a feedback loop and to say, okay, do I need to go to bed earlier? Do I need to cut the screens out? Is there too much stress in my life? Am I constantly worrying about something? And it's like keeping me up, and I just need something that shuts the brain off. For so many people, that's the thing. They're laying in bed and they're just thoughts, thoughts, interaction with somebody, argument that you had the other day, so what you're going to do tomorrow, how you're going to pay the bills, how you got to get your car fixed. All this stuff is going through their mind. And so of course they can't sleep. And so they just want something that they can take that like knocks them out, that just turns all that off. Okay. So I know the allure of that can be very strong, but the reality is that it is a crutch and it will make you weak over time. It will make you weaker. So we must say, okay, I need to fix these things in my life. Or to shut my brain off, I need to develop the techniques. I need to use mindfulness meditation. I was going to say medication. Mindfulness meditation. I need to use cold therapy, hot therapy. I need to do breathing techniques. I need to fix the things in my life that I'm all worried about, so that I'm not constantly worrying about them. I need to do them and get them off my mind. Okay, all of these things. It's all useful. Graham says, valerian root, if used in the right ratio, is very good at helping sleep. Better than big pharma nonsense, but it has to be mixed right. Okay, so I don't have experience with valerian root, but I've heard this many times, that it's possible. But even then, the same thing applies. Why do I need it? What is out of balance in my life, and how can I fix this so that I can sleep naturally and wonderfully? Because there's nothing better than real, natural everything. Sleep, wake, energy, all of that. Val says, I have unintentionally trained my brain to fall asleep while reading. How do I correct this? That's right, my friend. And if you watch some of my other videos on this channel, I have said, okay, I took a quick Jim Quick is the guy's name. Speed reading course by Jim Quick. He's a brain guy. He's really good. And he's really good at telling you how to memorize things and giving you techniques. He's full of those one-liners, and stuff. So I took a speed reading course by him. And I signed up as like a 10-week course, and I took it and everything. And it has totally transformed my whole entire relationship with reading. I mean, it really has. Before, I would read in bed. I would read, okay, before I would go to bed, I would read and stuff. But little did I know that I was conditioning my body to associate reading with going to sleep. And so if I would try and read during the middle of the day, I would immediately get tired. Boom. And I just couldn't read. The brain would get foggy. I'd be trying to go to sleep. And so it was Jim Quick that first said, that's the number one mistake, and you got to stop it now. You have to schedule your reading. This is the most important thing. You have to schedule the reading as though you would schedule an appointment, or as though you would schedule a meeting with someone else or something. So you have to say, okay, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., I'm going to read. And then you sit down while you're alert and awake and you read. And that's the number one step. And then you're reconditioning the body to be alert and awake when you're reading. Okay? And it will take a little bit of getting used to. It will take some deconditioning of the previous way that you do it. But then when you recondition the mind, it's going to be effortless. So that now I never get tired whatsoever. When I read, I don't get tired at all. And I can sit and boom. It's because I read during the day in the good light and with a purpose and intention. And I do the speed reading techniques. I'm not super fast because I don't like to rush it, but I am pretty fast. I mean, much faster than I used to be. And that number one thing, schedule your reading, is everything. 1 hour a day, even half hour a day, you'd be shocked at how much you can actually get through. And then, okay, I won't get into it too much, but I'll give you one more tip on that reading thing. So most people, when they read, they will speak the words to themselves out loud, well, in their mind. Okay, he who cherishes a beautiful vision, a lofty ideal in his heart, one day will realize it. So, right, you're saying that to yourself in your mind. That is really slow because the brain can process the words and the information so much faster than speech. And so that's the second major skill to learn when speed reading is to train the mind. And you start by using your finger and you just run your finger across the words and you just look at the words. Keep a calm mind, but just look at the words and follow the finger as you're skimming along the lines. And it takes a little bit of work at first, but the brain knows how to comprehend what is being looked at. It can just boom, and you instantly quadruple the speed of your reading. Yeah, it takes a little bit of practice in order to get good at remembering everything that is said, but it will come so that you can just kind of boom, look at it and let the brain do the work. You don't actually have the speech in your head. Okay, so let's see here. Spray Can Art. Hello, my friend. Says, hey, I'm actually catching you live. You are creating a great community that is devoted to natural living, self-improvement, and radiant health. I like that. Thank you for your dedication to spreading good info. You are very welcome, my friend. I am happy that you are here and also spreading the positivity. Yeah, that's what it's all about. Natural living, self-improvement, and radiant health. That's pretty much, I mean, what more could you want? Val says, yes, that's exactly what's happening to me, falling asleep. Okay, well, I hope that I gave you the first thing to start with, schedule your reading. Okay, no doubt. Let's see. Maggie says, take on an empty stomach at bedtime. Most are deficient. Take what? Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, Scott Murray. What's up, Dad? Melatonin makes me wake up in the morning feeling like a hangover. Yeah, that's another thing of the melatonin, definitely. I used to take it sometimes, and then it would give me about 4 hours of really deep sleep, and then I'd wake up, wake up and couldn't get back to sleep. And so, yeah, like I was saying, though, it is not for everyone and only for a short time, but you ideally want to get off of all those things in your life. Let's see. The Mom General says, I have learned to parent myself with regards to preparing and going to sleep. Yes, definitely. You have to. You have to go at the right time, and then the body is going to get used to it, and it's going to thank you for it. The body loves, this organism loves a schedule, a rhythm. Yeah. So Freebird says, what's the best thing to do to cleanse my liver? Number one is stop doing whatever you think it is that is toxifying your liver. That's definitely number one. You have to stop the influx of the poison before you can really expect to rid yourself of the toxins and the poisons. And then you do the master cleanse, my friend. So you start with the master cleanse, but then after that you implement a lifestyle that is free of most of the toxins that got you there in the first place. And then you do whatever kind of mental gymnastics you have to do, whatever kind of mental work you have to do in order to rid those toxifying things of your life. And then you can incorporate things like milk thistle, make teas with the milk thistle, with dandelion roots. All of these things have a really good natural detoxification, sort of help the liver detoxify, okay? So look into herbal teas and things like that. Right? But none of that is going to help so long as you're still toxifying the liver. I mean, I don't know if you are specifically, but most people, if they're concerned about the health of their liver, it's because they know that they're doing something that is making them concerned about their liver. So we have to stop doing that, okay? And Charles Abshire says, detoxing metals. Is it true that cilantro works well? I actually don't know about cilantro working to detoxify metals from the body. I don't know that. Anything about that, actually. I would like to know more, though. Freebird says, I had 3 brain surgeries 20 years ago, not to be on meds, been on 2 meds since, trying so hard to get off of them without the doctors. Thank you for answering. Okay. So, right. So, yeah, I guess I was thinking more of like drinking alcohol or drinking stimulant or something like that. That's some kind of drug usage. A medication is different, of course. I mean, brain surgery medication, that seems pretty, imperative that you keep taking it. So, but I'm just saying in general, Yeah, so definitely the herbs are going to help you, and drinking the water, man. Drinking the water. Most people, and how many of you guys have done this? And this is true. You start drinking 1 gallon of water every day. Just start by that. And when people ask me, Nate, what's the number one thing I could do to improve my health? Start drinking 1 gallon of water throughout the day. Okay, it doesn't matter when you drink it. Just make sure that by the end of the day, all of the gallon is gone. Right? And that one thing alone can, for most people, dramatically alters their experience of life. They have more energy. They feel less pain in the joints and the muscles. They feel clearer in the mind, because most people are walking around in a state of chronic dehydration without even realizing it. All right. And so what does that do? That makes, when you're dehydrated, the blood thickens. And so the heart has to work harder. Every single pump, it has to work harder than it should to pump this thick blood throughout the veins and arteries. So when we're properly hydrated, the blood is much more viscous. It's the nice texture. And so the heart doesn't have to work as hard. Also, when we're properly hydrated, we know that the body, and the brain in particular, is an electromagnetic organism. It's a sender and receiver of electromagnetic energies. This is how the cells communicate. This is how the neurons communicate. All of this, it's through electrical impulses. And so that we know that water is a very good conductor like this. Okay, so if something is really bone dry, it's not going to conduct as well as if it was nice and wet. Yes? And so when we are dehydrated, the brain cells and the neurons are not firing like they should be firing, okay? So that when we get good and hydrated, then we will experience the free flow of the electrical energy throughout the body, and the brain will work much faster, yeah? And some people will think, whoa, what are you taking, or what are you on, or something, because the brain, the mind, everything is working fast and sharp like it should. But it's nothing but the natural way, my friends. So, Ms. KC says, do you have any specific brands of maple syrup that you prefer? Asking it again. Okay, so specific brands, not really, because, well, I guess that's not true. Okay, so if you go to like a co-op, there is, I think it's Anderson's, right? Anderson's grade B. It used to be grade B, now it's grade A, very dark, robust taste. The darkest possible. So that's pretty good. That's been a good brand, the Andersons. I'm pretty sure that's what it is called. Yeah. But besides that, you want to try and get some local stuff. That's really the best. So I have some people down in central Indiana at the Harris Sugar Bush, and we toured their facility and everything, and it was really cool. And I saw their still and all of that kind of stuff. And so, or their dehydrator, their burner, their boiler, I think it's called. And yes, so to try and get the local stuff is the best. So that's what I would do. If stuff from Vermont is always pretty good, they make it anywhere like north of about central Indiana is where they will make it. And that's the best. And you want to ask them for the darkest stuff. Okay. So let's see. PA says, which part of the milk thistle is used? They grow abundant on my land. You can use... I'm forgetting exactly if it's the flower or the root. I will look that up and I will know next time. Yeah. But I'm not, yeah, I will look it up and I will know for sure next time. Okay. Because I know that they sell it obviously by tea, like in bags and stuff like that, or in the bulk section at the co-op and stuff. But I forget what exactly part it is. So I will research that and get back to you. Let's see. Ms. KC says, thank you. This is helpful. I'm going to try to go 20 days in May, and I want to make sure I'm fully stocked and prepared. Yes, you can definitely get the darkest stuff possible. Yeah. 20 days is very good. That's what Jenny does. That's what she has done. And so she did 25 days her very first master cleanse, guys. Okay. But I'm working with people that are doing 60 days. Some people have done 90 days on the master cleanse. So Graham says, using copper for storing water to drink helps with conductivity of energy throughout the body. Absolutely, yes. And I have copper drinking vessels, definitely. And that's why pipes are copper. Water pipes are often copper, and because of the antibacterial and microbial effect of it. Let's see here. And the mom general says, set a bedtime and stick to it. Create a ritual around preparing yourself for bed. Put yourself in bed. Lights out, Boy Scout. That's right. That sounds pretty good. Max says, have you ever thought about starting a podcast? Yes, I have thought about it several times. I would love to. I would absolutely love to start a podcast, but I don't know how, I just don't really know how. It's incredible how much energy is actually spent in trying to make content. You know, my gardening channel, that's number one, of course. And so you're constantly being a content creator now, which I guess I am that professional content creator, which sounds kind of strange, but I'm loving it. But it's like a full-time gig in the sense that you constantly have to come up with new ideas. You're constantly having to come up with fresh stuff. So, okay, I just put out a video. Okay, you can't just sit back, all right, well, we're good. Now, no, you have to, okay, what's the next one going to be about? Well, how am I going to film it? Where's it going to be? How's it going to be relevant? What's the thumbnail going to look like? You have to create all of that. So it's like opening up those creative channels and just leaving them open all the time is a really unique experience. Then trying to think, okay, what kind of Instagram content can I get? How can I make a short out of this? How can I make a reel? That's why people, even smaller channels, like my size or a little bit bigger, they have production teams. They have people working with them, because it is like a serious endeavor. But it's a skill that you learn, and I'm loving it, and I'm developing it more and more. So this is not a complaint in any way. This is it's just an observation. And let's see here. So have you done any Qigong or energy work on others? When I was in India and stuff, staying in these ashrams and stuff, we did a number of different things like that. Yes. I can't say I ever got to the point where I was doing the work on others, others would do it on me, definitely. And I did it myself, like some Qigong and things of this nature, Tai Chi. But no, I've not brought myself to a point where I would say confidently, okay, I can do this type of energy work on somebody else. And let's see, Ms. P says, hello. To help those who are trying to detox metals, fermented chlorella helped me. Fermented chlorella. How do you ferment it? Or do you just mean regular chlorella? It's very, very good, yes. The blue-green, the algae, definitely. Let's see here. Freebird says, I ordered several things from Baker Creek the other day. Thanks for sharing your resources. For sure, man. Baker Creek is awesome, guys. PA says, you're doing great, Viking friend. Thanks for your input. You're very welcome. I am glad that you enjoy it. And I think you asked a question last week that I didn't get to. And okay, Ms. P purchased it fermented already and pressed into tablets. Okay, I see. So yeah, PA, I think you asked a question last week about, you said, what is a way that a highly sensitive person could be around others in physical contact with them, but not absorb their energy or not feel like they're drained of their positive energy? And this is a very relevant question. So I wanted to just address it briefly, in the sense that the number one way is that you have to bring yourself to the point that you find the source of unlimited energy within you. Because there is a source of light and energy within you that is the source of all things. And it is unlimited. It's unlimited in its power and its energy. And it's right there within you right now. Everyone watching this, it's right there within you right now. But it's our belief systems about ourselves, and it's our habit patterns, and it's our lifestyle that seems to cloud this light. It seems to put like a layer of cloudiness and debris over this light so that we can't really see the light and we don't experience it, but it's always there. And so through the practices, we can uncover that so that just like the sun, it just boundless energy shines for everyone all the time. And this power is within you. And so that would be the number one thing, okay? But that takes work, and it can take work. It can take some effort, but there is a state within you that is full of peace and full of serenity all the time, and is full of absolute contentment and it is like a deep ocean, the waters of a deep ocean. So that when you discover the depths within yourself, it doesn't even matter what is happening on the surface of the ocean, how turbulent waves and everything, 2 miles deep in the ocean, it's always perfectly still. And we have an even further depth within us, within our soul, within our being. It's an infinite depth. And so when we learn to uncover and become that part of ourself, we have the unlimited power. And so it's fantastic. And so there's many different ways to get there, though. Many people get to that state of of deep peace within through a religious way. Yes, that through following a certain type of religion, they can achieve that. They can uncover that within themselves. Yes, others, it's through a more spiritual path. Through the mindfulness practices and through a meditation, and they can get there from that route. Others, it happens by total accident. A lot of times it can happen from in states of extreme grief or depression or just extreme pain. It can be like a pressure that forms the diamond. It can be the pressure, the catalyst, and boom, then you have no other choice but to go so deep within that, whoa, everything becomes silent and everything becomes still. And then from that point on, your whole life has changed because you have found the radiant light from within you. And wow, man, you can bring it now to every interaction that you have all over the place. So, I don't know if that really helps, but yes, it's so explore so many different routes. But okay, on a more practical level, you have to set boundaries. Okay, you have to, number one, you have to be okay. You have to accept that you are the energy that flows through you is of a certain type. If you're a highly sensitive person that absorbs other people's energy, or that feels like they absorb it from you and you feel drained, then you have to accept that about yourself. Not in the sense that I don't always want to be drained. Okay, you don't just say, okay, well, I just always want to be drained of energy. No, you have to, by acceptance, I mean you have to accept this is the reality of how I am. Okay, so knowing this, now I must not be hard on myself. I must be compassionate with myself and say, okay, this is how I am. So I'm not going to try to strong arm myself to be any other way. And I'm not going to say, oh man, but you shouldn't be this way. Come on, you should be able to go and hug everybody and be totally unaffected by everything. Well, who's to say you should? No, that's not the way that the energy flows through you. So it starts with acceptance in my mind and saying, okay, so know when to say no. That's a skill that I've developed in life that has made game-changing, guys. It's been game-changing. Knowing when to just say no. Hey, do you want to go out here and go here? No, I'm okay, guys. Thank you, though. I have a good time, And to not beat up on yourself, not to say, oh, man, I'm a loser. I should have, I'm being antisocial. I should have went out with him. No, nope, because the energy flows through you differently. And you've accepted this. You're no longer in denial, trying to say, but I should be this other way. No, you shouldn't. So just let the energy flow. Okay. Now, that being said, that's the starting place. And then you can, through the practices, you can learn to sort of adjust the sails through that. Okay. You can learn when to say no, but then you can also, when you do go out into places, you can have a ritual, a separation ritual. This is very beneficial to when you leave a place where you might feel drained. Have a ritual that you do every time, okay? Go outside, take your shoes off, and put your feet on the earth, okay? Put your feet on the earth, not any other way. Your bare feet on the soil. And take a deep breath and allow all of the negativity, allow the earth to take it all. The earth is a recycler of energy, and so it will take from you everything. It will take all the negativity, all of that kind of disharmonious energy, and it will absorb it into itself, the earth, and it will recycle it and create more life from it. That is what the earth does. It's a recycler. It's amazing. And so this is a very good ritual, okay, that we do. And so do that every time that you feel drained like this until it will become second nature. And then the light from within will come out, and then you won't have to do any of that kind of stuff. Okay. So there's so many things that I could keep saying about that. But I just wanted to, because you asked that question, so I wanted to address it. I hope that some of that made sense to you guys. So Trish says meditation, tapping, breathing, and meditation have helped release some of the energy taken on. Earthing is amazing. Yes, Trish knows. See? She knows. It's the breathing techniques, it's the earthing. The earth, guys, it's just a magnificent being. Graham says most people are full of fear, guilt, and shame, which is the lowest frequency band you can be. They're carrying too much of it, especially in these heady times. That is absolutely well said. I could say that myself. Yes, most people are full of fear, guilt, shame, which is the lowest frequency band you can be on. They're carrying too much of it, especially in these times. Yes. And so that is why we have to do the practices like what we just talked about, so that you don't, especially if you know this about yourself, that I'm a person that can absorb this. It's actual, if you look into the science of this stuff, there is some science backing this, that we have what is generically called mirror neurons, I think is the term for it, to where some people, their neurons, their electromagnetic field can sense the energy, the aura, the electromagnetic field of another person, and it wants to imitate that as a way of connection, social connection. And so some people, that's a lot stronger than in others. Yes. And so we call these people like empaths, and they can, and this is how the energy flows through them, guys. So, yeah. DA says it helps if you release the energy you take on when you force yourself or are forced to be around others. Yes, separation ritual. I've had people tell me to ring a bell before coming into the house. Okay, yeah, whatever the ritual is, and that's the beautiful thing. It could be whatever it is for you. You know, it could be put your hand over your heart, and your other hand, is releasing the energy, but you have to actually do that with the power of the mind, and you have to visualize this happening and feel it within you. So DA says smudge, burn salt, but definitely ground yourself. Yes, those are all good. Smudge, very good. Ms. P, the enemies of humanity don't want us to know that we are part of the divine. For example, trying to force us to eat bugs to humiliate us. Right. Humiliate us. Yes, that is definitely, they do not want, they with the capital T, do not want you to understand your true nature. That is for sure. Because if you knew that we are all one divine being, if you knew that you are divine, truly, then there's no way you can control that. There's no way that you can manipulate that divine light. And so what we have to do, is to keep the people unaware that they are divine beings of light, eternal in every way, never born, never dying. And so that is the essence of the source within. And so we have to keep people from understanding that, because only then can they be afraid. Only then will they do what we're saying. Only then will they just spend their whole life in a cycle of fear and nervousness and anxiety, and then work and consume and work and consume. Only then will that kind of thing happen. So yes. Perm says, I love you spiritually, scientifically. Every cell of my body sends you good vibes and appreciates you infinitely. Man, this is wonderful. I feel that. You see, I feel that as soon as you said that, I felt that in the ether. So thank you very much. Perm says, eating bugs is good. Yes. Yeah. A lot of cultures. When I was in Thailand, the cultures, they eat bugs, definitely. It is on a voluntary basis, though. But the whole eating bugs thing, guys, is really where that is coming from, is that the people that are seeing what is happening with the earth, the people that are sort of, the malevolent type that is directing where things are going, they know that we have killed the soil. We are killing our soils. And that they know within this lifetime, the soils are going to stop yielding. They already are. I mean, if you look at graphs from starting in the 1950s, as far as how many tons of nitrogen fertilizer has been applied to the U.S. alone, you will see starting in the 50s, 55, 60, 65, there was just a little bit had to be used here and there, little bit, but then over the past, in 1970, more was used, and then in 1990 and 2000 now, the graph is absurd. it's being dumped on. We're having to use more and more and more of the fertilizers, and the land is going to stop yielding. Okay, and so they know that, and that they know that agriculture as it is really not sustainable and is not going to be producing like it is forever. And so the thing that you can farm in huge factories with poisoned soil are bugs, larvae, mealworms, and stuff like that can easily be farmed in factories with super low input costs with dead soil. And so that is my understanding of it all, and I've done a fair amount on this. So PA says, thank you very much, Nate. Yes, you are welcome, my friend. And so, yeah, so the eating the bug thing is not really, because eating bugs is great. It's a great source of protein and stuff. But if it's forced upon you and you don't want it to be, then that's another thing. But also, they know that we're poisoning soils. Okay. Spray can art. Eating bugs is good if you are a chicken. I read that humans lack an enzyme to digest them properly. It's... I think that bugs can be a very good source of protein and whatever else. Many cultures throughout the world that I've been to personally do eat the bugs. Not as their number one food source, but yes, that we can definitely eat them. We are the type of creature that can eat so many different things. We're a rare in that sense that we can eat insects, we can eat leafy greens, we can eat meat, we can eat fish, we can eat dairy, we can eat, other things like that. Not a lot of animals can do that, and that's what makes the human being so adaptable to its environment. It can have a diverse diet, but the issue is when the chemicals come into the diet. Because no matter what, we are never designed to eat the chemicals. So many people want to ask me, like, what's the ideal diet and stuff? Hey, is it the carnivore diet, or is it the lion diet, or is it the paleo diet, or is it the vegetarian, or is it vegan, or is it only, this and that? And the real answer is that the human being is designed to eat so many things, almost anything in its natural state. That's the most important thing. I've seen cultures that survive on almost entirely yak meat in the Khumbu region of the Himalayas. When I was hiking to the base camp of Mount Everest, the whole culture of people were eating pretty much just yak meat, yak cheese, yak milk, with a little tiny bit of this like kale type of leafy green, and then some rice, but it was mostly just yak. And they were super incredibly healthy and robust. Man, I mean, mind-blowingly robust. But then I've also been to cultures that are pure vegetarian. I've met so many people that have never in their whole life had even one bite of animal product, of meat, of animal protein, and they're abounding with health. But the difference is that they're all still living very close to the land. They're growing the vegetables in their village with their techniques, and their family, and they're harvesting it, and they're saving the seeds and all of that. They're putting manures from the animals onto the fields like this, and they're growing nutrient-rich food. That's why they can survive without any animal proteins. Likewise, the guys surviving on just the yak and stuff is because these are like free-range yak. They're just eating this moss that is all over the mountains, and they're breathing in the fresh air. They don't have all this GMO and preservatives and all this garbage. So that's what it's all about. You have to eat food that's in as close to its natural state as possible. So, okay, guys, if you have any burning questions, let's get them in, because we're going to keep these to about an hour, yeah? Because today, Monday and Tuesday, is my video making day. Well, I'm supposed to have my video out Tuesday afternoon, so I got a lot of filming to do left today. But Pa Perm says, what do you think of Gnosticism, prison planet hypothesis? Let's talk about that next time, okay? Definitely got some thoughts on that, but that will be a whole journey that we would have to get into, okay? So, guys, I'm loving this, man. This is so much fun. So thank you guys so much for being here and for asking the questions and for the energy exchange. I'm feeling the energy. I love it, which is great. It's all in the ether. Also, genetic differences from the millennia of adaptation. Yes, Ms. P, this is true. This is true. There is also some genetic adaptation, for sure. but still they are human. So Val says, do you think CBD oil is beneficial? It can be. Yes, it definitely can be. For its anti-inflammatory effects and things like this. Now, but the main thing is, why do you need the CBD oil? We have to use anything that we would ever use medicine for. We have to understand why do we need the medicine? Like I talked about earlier, it's a feedback loop. If you're getting the inflammation that you have to take CBD for, then you need to say, okay, why am I getting the inflammation? What can I do to change this so that I don't get inflammation? Because the body is not designed to walk around inflamed all the time. The body's designed to feel good and to thrive. That's the way we are designed. So if you're not feeling that way, then you need to figure out what is impeding that, okay, through the different techniques. Val says, thank you, Nate. Yes, you're very welcome, my friend. I'm glad you're here. Jamie Copeland, thank you, Nate, for sharing your thoughts and wisdom. You're very welcome. Thank you for being here. Ms. KC, thanks, Nate. All of your videos are informative and uplifting. Yes, my friend. It's because the energy is flowing. The same energy that is in you is recognizing itself and it's becoming inspired by that. And so that is fantastic. It's the same light. Yes? So, okay, my friend. We will see you guys next Monday at 12, same time, 12 noon Eastern time. And then every Saturday at 12 noon Eastern time, I do a live stream on the Garden Like a Viking channel. Also check out the Garden Like a Viking Instagram account where I'm doing all kinds of reels and stuff now about certain smoothies and recipes and things like that. Just all good, beneficial stuff. So put any of the questions, if you're watching this after the fact, put some of the questions for next week in the comments and we'll try to get to them. But I will see you guys all here next week, my friends.